Hey Susan, I'm gonna go grab my coffee real quick. I've got this little nugget on my lap.
Oh,
He's gonna probably cry and run after me. Hesna, hello. Harvey, sorry about that, you guys. I was on a coaching call. I had to get off of that with Casey, who's been so sick. Hello, hello. I am so excited to talk to you guys today because I've been learning some new stuff and I wanted to share with you guys. Always learning, always changing. Where's Casey? I know she's coming because I was just on a call with her. Let me make sure she's got the right link. Oh, Susan shared the link too. Where is Casey? Come on, Casey. How's everybody doing?
good.
Hi, Darby. I think
Hey,
I think I still have your cup over here.
what cup? Oh, my pink one. Yeah, I left it there.
Laura, did you ever find out anything? Actually, I'm texting my husband. He's supposed to go to my old house.
No, I never heard anything. I just think it's so weird. It like vanished.
I feel so. I looked and it said delivered, but then it also said returned. It said both. So I think my old, I don't have my new address listed anywhere. I
Right.
think my old address was the return, and I have a feeling maybe the postage was off or something, which I did it the same for everyone. So I don't know, but I think they sent it back there, and they said they had a bunch of our mail. They did. I said, ask them specifically, do they have a pink box? But
Yeah.
he didn't want to ask. So, and for some of you guys who joined last month, I have little gift boxes coming your way. I just have not mailed them yet because I've been insanely busy and waiting for some of the items that I put in them to come. And they finally came this week, but it was launch week. So, um, anyway, let me grab my coffee. I just heard it finish. Hold on. I really hope Becca's on. Becca, how did it go? You're no longer a masterclass virgin.
No, but I'm pulling into my house and I'm gonna put the baby down so I can chat more.
Okay, good.
So,
Yeah, I'm excited to hear. Okay, so what we're going to focus on today, and then I'll get to your questions, but there's a couple things. One, I've been meeting with some of you guys, and I'm just going to tell you social media algorithms change often, and you have to watch them and pivot with them. So I've already told some of you guys one of the pivots that we have seen. Obviously, I get most of my information from Labor Nurse Mama because Mama Hustling Home is not really my focus as far as growing. But we have seen a shift in reel covers. And so as I've been meeting with some of you guys, I want your business to not overwhelm you. And when you first start doing social media and reels, it's time freaking consuming. And so one of the things that I've been focusing on is narrowing down to what really needs to be done that works. And one of the things that we've seen in trending and people are not doing fancy reel covers, like very branded reel covers. So I want you guys to also look at some of the bigger people that you're following that's growing and see, are they always doing a reel cover? So one thing that I've started doing, I'm still doing a reel cover, but I'm making it very simple. So on Labor Nurse Mama, we used to do a screenshot from the video that I was posting, right? So if I were doing one with a pelvis or whatever, I would just screenshot, I'd pause the video, screenshot it, put it in Canva, and then we would do that very specific font on top of it. So what I'm doing now to take away, we always have to look for time saving tips, because if it's too complicated, you're gonna be like, oh my God, I can't do that right now. And then you're not gonna post. So one of the things that I've stopped doing is creating them in Canva. So I was just showing Casey what I do now, and I'm just going to show you guys the exact steps that I'm doing. And I've seen a lot of people who are growing fast. This is kind of what they're doing. This is funny, Darby. I posted a video I made for Steve with that song I had written, and it's frozen on a picture of you and Elias, but so I'm not going to show that video. Okay, so let's just say it's this video, right? I'm doing it on these healthy chocolates. What I would do is I would go into Instagram. I've made my reel. I don't want to get out of my phone. I don't want to have to go to Canva, download it, add it to my phone, do, all that stuff. So what I do is I go in to stories and let's back up. First, what I do is I pause it and then I screenshot the section I want to be my cover. And then I edit that down to just the picture, and it can be any size, because once we get into our stories, we'll make it what we want, and I save it. Okay. So I'm done. Save it. All right. So now I go back to my stories and I'm going to find that picture. I'm going to add it here, right? I just want you guys to make your reel covers simple. So there's a couple things you can do. One, you can go into the graphics and type in square, okay? So I'm going to type square and I'm going to find one that, let's just say that one, okay? So I've put that there in the middle. You guys see that? Now, if I want it to be more pronounced, I could change my background cover to like a darker. And then I'm going to put whatever my hook or whatever I want that cover. So like me and Casey were just doing one for her, and it was like, here's how to spice up your sex life, right? I'm going to put something on my cover that makes someone who's looking at my whole feed read it. Remember, when people are scrolling reels, they don't see your cover. It's only someone who comes to your profile. Doing covers, doing cohesiveness on your profile is only for people who come to check out your profile. Well, they're important, right? Because that's who you want to follow you. But you also want to cut down on how much time you're spending. So I don't know about you guys, but for me, creating the covers in Canva and doing all that and figuring out what I'm going to say takes me forever sometimes, especially if I'm producing reels on the fly, which is what I do a lot for, not for Labor Nurse Mama because it's different. So like that type of reel is a little bit different when you have a very specific, but if you're trying to catch a trend or something, like if you see a trend, you're like, oh my God, I have a great idea. I want to post that. That audio is blowing up right now. I'm going to post that. This works well for that. So try to do something, that you can do in your stories, and you can even do your batch producing, just save them all. So now I'm going to go here and I'm going to say, here's why I hate cervical exams. So I'm going to put something that's controversy, right? So I've got that there. I'm going to make that, just regular. And then I'm going to make it bigger, bring it down to the middle. Now this is a really bad example because this picture, you can't see it. You could use this one. Hold on. but I'm just showing you. You guys can figure out, mess around in the GIFs. There's so many things you can do in your stories. So now I have it on there, right? And then I just save it to my phone. Now I have a cover. The other thing that you can do to save time to make your covers is if you, let's say, let me share my screen real quick. There's no telling what's on my screen, so, because I've been working all morning. So let's go into Canva and let's look at, let's say, let me create a story. All right, so let's say your normal background is a rectangle like I just did, right? But in your brand color. So here's my middle. You know how I always did the ones where it was kind of see-through for Mama Hustlin' Home? Some of you guys may have seen that. So here's my background, right? I'm just trying to help you guys save time because I damn well know it's time consuming, and the whole point of building your business is for you to have freedom. So I'm going to make this background so I can see it. So I've got this on here. It's in the middle. I'm going to make it transparent, right? And then I'm going to let's do this. What did I do? Hold on. Something just went wrong. I've had a lot. Do you guys see my screen? I have had Canva glitching like a mother trucker lately. Has anybody else? I'm wondering if it's just because we have so much content and I have like 8 team members that get in my Canva. So let's say this is my Instagram story template, okay, cover or Instagram cover template. So now I'm going to download this and I'm going to make it transparent, okay? And I'm going to download it. So now I'm just going to send it to my phone. I'm going to airdrop it to my phone. Probably won't work right now since I want you guys to see. All right. I'm going to get rid of what I already put on here. Okay. So now what I've just done, let me get back to not sharing. Now what I've done is I've created a template to use. So like Hasna, you could do your blue that you normally do. You know what I mean? And then, so now I've got my picture on here. I'm going to upload my own sticker by going to my photo album. And I've got it. Now I've got that on there and I can write over it and make a cover. It's just saving me time. So you could make a folder in your photo album and save your cover template or whatever. You just would have to marry a font that's already in Instagram. But to me, to save steps so you can get back to your family or get back to what you're doing is just smart. Does that make sense to all of you guys? You could even add on that template in Instagram, you could even put your branding at the bottom and then download it transparent. You've got your template, your branding, and you just add your hook that you're going to put on your cover, call it a day. The other thing that I was going to tell you guys that is changing on Instagram is posting at certain times, but I don't quite believe that to let that go yet. You're going to see a lot of people spouting that. But in my opinion, if 80% of your audience is on at noon, it makes sense to post at noon and engage at noon. So what I recommend you do is you post at your high traffic time and then get in and also do a story. Maybe shoot a DM to someone you've been chatting to. Go and comment on, someone else not a competitor so much, but someone else in your space, right? So that you're not so much that you're like, just so you're saying to Instagram, hey, I'm using your platform. I'm here. Here I am,
Right now.
I hear you, Becca. You're
Oh,
unmuted.
sorry.
Just didn't want you to say anything you don't want to say. I've done that before. I yelled at Grayson very rudely one time during a postpartum hangout. Not so good. Anyway, so that's one change. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is there's a couple things. I'm in a coaching group for 6 and 7 figure earners, and I've told you guys before, I know a lot of people who build their business to 6, 7 figures without a big social audience. So the way they do that is Facebook ads. That's it. Ads cost money. So when you're not making money, that's very scary. But you guys also all know to invest in your business because you're all here with me before you've really started making money. So you have taken that step. One of the things that I am really thinking about for some of you guys, if not all of you, is doing a low cost, easy to convert ad at a low daily amount. So a low daily amount is around $5. Okay. What I think we need to do is figure out, what do we lead them to? My eventual hope, and why I want you guys doing your masterclass, is not so you nail it and sell out your program that first masterclass. It's so you figure out what works, so that it's converting in some way, whether the numbers are high or not. For my parenting coaches and like Darby, those of you doing some sort of coaching rather than a course, your call to action at the end of your masterclass, I think, should be apply to send me a DM or apply to be in my, apply to be one of my podcast clients. We only accept, so you want to make it like exclusive, if you do an ad that it goes to something free, the cost per person is so much lower. And the good thing about it, so one of the things I am working on is I want to bring in a Facebook ads coach to you guys, because I am by no means an expert at this at all. However, I did fluff through it on my own in the beginning for the first 2 years. I didn't do I never did an ad until I launched my VBAC lab. I never did ads. It was all organic, but I had a good organic audience. But I have a very good friend who's a sleep consultant she is growing her socials now, but she had $1 million year revenue. Obviously, she brought in $1 million, not having an audience, but she spent $20K a month on ads. The reason that you can do that is because, like for us, if we put $1 in, our return on that is around $7 per customer acquisition. If you could go to a slot machine and put in $100 and get 700, would you not? It makes sense. So what I have been thinking a lot about, to give you guys like a leg up for your masterclass or your freebie. Now with your freebie, the only way these people are going to be valuable for you, and I'm not talking about boosting posts. That's a waste of money. It really is. Don't boost your posts. You can't target, you can't watch it, you can't tweak it, you can't adjust it. That is just a way that Instagram is taking money from you. I'm talking about going into your Facebook business suite and us setting up a campaign. And I'm willing to help y'all as much as I can, but again, it's not my forte. But I feel like there's a couple people I know. Mackenzie's on my team and I love her, but I'm not sure. I don't know that she's the right person to come in, and she's not extremely nurturing. She's very cut and dry at times. And she's not super patient. So I don't know that she's the right person to work with a bunch of newbies, because I can handle it. It doesn't affect me too much. But that being said, I think one thing that I'm seeing that's working for a lot of the people in my very expensive coaching group is very simple ads. Very simple ads. One way that you can look at different people's ads specifically. So whenever I have an ad that comes up on Facebook group, I hit save a copy, and I save it to a folder in my Facebook. Is she doing something bad? Tula, dear Lord, you are so naughty. Thank you, Susan. God, between her and
That's what I do.
between her and the beast of a cat, they have destroyed every fake house plant I have. Tula. Anyway, you're gonna go to Darby's house, Tula. Hang out with Darby. Okay, so I save it to a folder when I see ad copy. If I download a freebie magnet or I make a loom of their landing pages. If you like them, if you're like, oh, this sucks, don't worry about that. But that gives me ideas when I'm producing content. Does that make sense to you guys? And then you have, what's really awesome is we have casts. So like Becca, for you, with your audience growing right now, I would do a low cost ad that leads them. What is one, do you have one lead magnet that's doing better than the other?
The one that's doing the best is the masterclass.
The masterclass or a lead magnet?
Like, so the top 10 exercises, I guess, would be the best lead magnet.
Okay.
But
So
I feel like, I don't know, go ahead.
So let me tell you how I would do that for her. So she's got her lead magnet, right? Sending ads to a free lead magnet is the cheapest return of your money. But here's what we want to do. When they hit your ad, your lead magnet, they're now in your funnel. So your funnel has to be on point. So what we did this time in our launch, which this has not been a huge money winning launch, because my fearless birth experience, what I found with my fearless birth experience is that they come, but the next one is when they all buy. So everyone buying from my from June usually came in March. Does that make sense? Because I've nurtured them. They've been on my email list and I've told them, hey, and I'm constantly in their face. Hey, I'm the expert. Hey, buy my birth course. My birth course is the best. You get this. So they're seeing it. By the time they come to the next event, they're like, oh yeah, I just want to go with this girl. So as you're building your masterclass, I want you to think about what is an obvious lead magnet that leads into your masterclass. So what it'll look like is, once, like Becca just did her first masterclass, I can guess that it probably wasn't like super duper profitable, but she probably learned how it is profitable is you teach that first one and you're like, holy shit, I did not do well at blah, blah, blah. You refine it. So now she teaches again. Like, I would recommend you teach one either every other week until you tweak things. So next time Becca does it, maybe she tweaks the email sequence she sent out, because maybe she didn't have as many show ups as she wanted to have, or maybe she does a DM reminders or something to make sure, because I don't know about y'all, but I sign up for webinars all the time and I don't remember to go. I do it all the time. It has nothing to do with you and your content. It has to do with all of us. We're all busy. So what do we do in that? So next time Becca does it, now she sends out fun DM facts with a reminder. Hey, going live. The class is about to start. Don't be late. Hashtag mom brain. Don't forget, so she does it again. She has more people show up, but they don't buy, right? The next time she does it, she changes the copy she had a lot of people go to her sales page, but they didn't buy it. She changes a little copy on her sales page. So next time she does it, they go to the sales page. Now they land on the cart. Oh, wow, they actually clicked buy this time, but they didn't buy. So now we look at her sales cart and we tweak that. So next time she does it, she has more people show up because she's reminding them. They're getting to her sales page. They're compelled to click the button, and she has people buying, right? Now we've nailed it. We've gotten her conversion to a good industry standard. Now she refilms her masterclass and puts it on Evergreen. She sends people to that. She's still sending people to that daily lead magnet, right? And they're in her funnel. They've bought the lead magnet. They've gotten it. Well, as soon as they download it, hey, mama, she has a video of Becca, right? On that thank you page. Hey, mama, I am so glad you downloaded my, what was it? Exercises? My exercises. I am so passionate about women not being told to just deal with pain during pregnancy. So much so that I created this free class for you to watch to give you some actionable tips. Hit play now. They go to your masterclass, right? They go to your masterclass, they watch your masterclass. At the end of your masterclass, you say, okay, I am so glad you're here. Here's a free gift for coming. And by the way, my class is open. I'm taking, I know, Becca, you're doing yours where it's more coaching like I did with VBAC Lab, right? So I am accepting blah amount of students. Our next session is starting and I'm giving you 48 hours and you can get 150 off or 100 off. Or if you join now in the next 48 hours, I'm going to give you a free one-on-one consultation where you can break down your pain, whatever it is. When I first started, I gave away free birth plan consultations because I didn't have the money and I didn't have any other courses to give them, right? But I could give my time at that point. And I wasn't like now I could not give free birth plans. I would not have any time freedom at all. But when you first start and you only have 10, 20, 30 people joining, you can give them a half-hour consult, right? You just spend 3 days 1 week. What's good about that is if you have a higher ticket, you can, once you get on there with them and they get to know you, you can upsell them there. So does anybody have questions so far? I know some people, Laura, did not want to do any ads when we started. And I made note of that on our very first coaching call because there's nothing wrong with doing ads. There isn't. Ads just get you in front of the right people who want what you have. And if it's the right person who wants what you have, you don't have to do all the hoopla that we have to do on social media to sell. Right? You don't have to do all the dances and the proving because they are being shown your ad because they just told your partner, oh my God, I hate doing this podcast. I need someone to help me. And then Darby's ad pops up because the magic gods that will listen to everything we say. Right? So I feel like if you guys are ready to kind of take a plunge, but it has to go to a free thing. Now, once you get to where I'm at with my business, I have allocated funds, but I'll tell you, it's scary. We just spent $10,000 and makes me want to puke. $10,000 for this last launch. And I used to be scared to spend $1,000. And it's hard when you spend that much on a launch and your sales aren't super high. But what I did is I got 4,000 more mamas into my funnel. And now I just have to nurture them. They're all cold. They don't know me. They don't know who Labor and Nurse Mama is. Very easy to sell to the people who've been following me since they got a positive pregnancy stick, So ads are not like a magical, what it does is it gets more people who are looking for what you have that you can nurture. So how do we nurture? We show up on social media. We do lives. We share our life in our story so they know, oh, she isn't just a salesperson. She's a real person. We make sure we're authentic. We're using, when I first started, it was funny. I had my filming voice I would use. If you guys want to hear it, go back and watch my IGTVs. They suck so bad. And you guys know me. I didn't talk like me, right? Now, when I do my reels, if I do voiceovers, I hate doing them. I hate doing talking ones, but if I do them, I talk like I would talk. Does that make sense? I don't use my IGTV voice anymore. I use my voice. So if I show up and I'm like, if I went on and said, Hi, I want to tell you guys how to have a beautiful, empowered birth. And then they join and they come, and I'm like, holy shit, that dog just shit on my floor. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, where did that girl go? But if I show up on my reels and I'm like, listen, you do not have to listen to the crap that people are telling you. You can have an empowered birth. That's me, right? Does that make sense to you guys too? Like, show up you. You are what sells you. You're specific. And if they don't like you, they don't need to be in your thing. You don't want them. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. You don't want them. Because I've had some people that I would never have sold my course to if I knew what a pain in the rear they were going to be and how they were going to challenge everything I say. Like, it's fine if you don't agree with what I'm saying, don't buy my birth course. So I want to make sure they know exactly what they're getting, which is why I love doing, live classes. I love doing live classes, but they are exhausting and they're discouraging, Becca. I had 250 people on my class when I opened the cart, and I had 20 people join. That's industry standards, 10%. But it sucks when you've got 200 women in the chat going, oh my God, you're amazing. Would you fly and be my doula? Would you be my labor nurse? Like, oh my God, I wish I had you. And then I'm like, here's how you can have me. And it's crickets, right? But what I know is that those 200 people have heard my offer. They know my teaching style. They've gotten a glimpse of my personality. They know I suck at tech. I'm very real. They know that if they join me, there's going to be problems sometimes because that's how it is. But next time they're exposed to me, like, I'm pulling them in a little more. If I can't, then they don't belong with me. I don't need to work with them. Like, several of you are my students, and y'all know I love you guys. Like, I show up more than, like, I've been known to jump on Zooms if I know one of my students is having a terrible day. Like, I'll spend 2 hours on Zoom with her. Like, that's who I am, So I'm off on a tangent. Had too much caffeine today, I think. Anyway, I really think we should talk about, bringing in more people to the other thing about this is when you do a funnel to a lead magnet on the thank you page, as you funnel them, now you tell them, hey, you send them, oh, look at this reel I just did today, come watch it and make sure you follow me, and then you nurture them. The other thing that I am really stressed about lately is that part of how I built such a big business was my DMs. And I don't know how to nurture people anymore on Labor Nurse Mama with 320,000 followers. I did just as good financially when I had 20 to 40,000 followers. So I don't want you guys to think you need to get to where I'm at, because honestly, when you have a good chunk, you can nurture them and talk to them. I knew them. Like, it stresses me out. Hannah talks to a lot of them, but really my bot does all the work, and we don't have a choice. We get like 300 to 400 DMs a day. There's no way we can nurture them. So this week I was getting in and chatting with some of them, and I was like, I miss this. Like, I miss being able to chat with these moms. And like, I have 2,700 followers, I think, on Mama Hustlin' Home, but I'm chatting with like 20 women. I'm not like, hey, join my coaching group. Hey, I'm like, hey, where are you at? What are you stuck with? Like, what's going on? And some of them, they are not a fit. They are not a fit, but I'm still chatting with them. And I'm like, I miss that with Labor and Nurse Mama. So as you guys have, like, I was talking to Hasna the other day, if you were doing a speaking event, I want you to think of your follower count, right? If you were doing a speaking event and that many people came to that event, you would be like, holy mother of God. You're speaking to the right people. It doesn't matter if it's 200, 2,000, or 300,000. You need to, now, I will say, and it freaks me out, but I think I'm going to go through my followers on Mama Hustle Home. I'm going to get rid of the weirdo men, and I'm not working with men. So I want to train Instagram to know. So like, and I think I already went through and got rid of all my family and friends because I don't need them. Yeah, energetically clear it out. Exactly. I don't need them. I wish that I had started a brand new account. But I didn't. So there's not much I can do about that. So I think it's been hard for Instagram to figure out what I'm doing because it used to be my family account that I posted family. And so I went through and I got rid of, I just didn't want my mom showing up on every one of my lives either, going, that's my daughter, and all the stuff that she does, which is awkward. But I want you guys to remember that. Don't compare your numbers because it doesn't matter. If you have 300 of the right people, you can make a killing. 300 is a big amount to show up for you. And if you're growing slower, like Mama Hustle and Home is growing slower, partly because I was growing like almost 200 a day for a couple weeks. And I realized, I love you too, have a good day. The content I was doing was bringing in everybody who wants to grow their business, everybody who wants to grow their social media. So I stopped doing the hacks because I realized I'm not going to let everybody into my coaching group. Like I'm spending a lot of time with you guys and investing in you. And I need to believe in what you're doing as well. And I'm not a social media user per se. So like, I couldn't work with someone who just wants to promote their outfits or Amazon products. That's not aligned with what I want to do is people who are impacting, you know, service-based or impact-based. So I want you guys to really think about that too. Like the numbers don't matter. Now, Laura and I have been talking, getting comments, getting shares, those things do matter. So we do need to keep pivoting to get more people engaging, but not as much growing fast. We want them engaging. So that's why I've been thinking a lot about targeting with low cost ads. And you could start at $2 or $3. $5 is kind of the sweet spot to start, you know, but imagine if you spend $5 and you get 100 of the right people into your funnel so that when you announce your beta program or whatever, and that's the other thing, you guys do not have to have your course or your offer finalized. I launched my beta program for VBAC Lab. It was $150 a person. And I wanted 15 people. I am a little mad at myself because I've realized that what you put out there, you get back. And I've done this a lot. There's been times when I've had a launch and I'm like, I want to do 60K for this launch. I literally do like 59K. I'm like, why didn't I say 100K? Why did I say 50K? You know what I mean? Like, so I said 15. I literally got the 15 and it stopped. I probably would have taken in more, but I did 15 at 150 for a course that I didn't have one damn thing created. But I told them that, and I pivoted as I am going to create the most amazing VBAC focused course, and I want VBAC mamas to help me make it perfect. And so what I did is I would create a module. And so I did the pre-launch in September, October. I started the weekly calls the end of November, and I would send them the content the week before the call. They would all go through it. I mean, I had one mama that I swear to God, she was a English teacher. I don't know. She would redline everything I did. And at first I got like a little butthurt, to be honest, because it was like everything. And I had to go back and redo stuff. Because of course, once you point it out, you can't unsee it. And then I would add it to the thing and they would tell me like, oh yeah, like, and what was nice about it is, so I do a lot of slides with voice overlay. That way you can film, you don't have to look good, you don't have to, your house doesn't have to be clean, all that. And so they would listen to that module and they come back and like what I thought made sense. This is where I learned on my own without Chat GPT to dumb it down some. And so I realized like that may make sense to a room full of labor and delivery nurses, but that does not make sense to a mom. And so, sorry, my dogs are fighting. So I went back and I redid it, and it was a pain in the ass, I won't lie. But by the time the VBAC lab was done, it was written and approved by 15 women that were going for VBACs. You know, now I do need to redo it. I've tried to have my son fix the audio, but I had bronchitis for 10 months and I had to record. It was the worst. You remember that, Darby? I ended up going to the hospital. It was terrible. I broke ribs from coughing. I mean, I bruised ribs from coughing. So I do want to update it, but that I want you guys, one of the biggest holdbacks for those of us in this space is getting frozen in inaction, not taking steps forward. And sometimes that's because we think we need to have the perfect thing created, but you don't. And so think about how that might work for you. You know, like Darby's more of a service based, so it's a little different, but I have some thoughts more specific for you, Darby, to be able to target the right people, you know. I think like for some of you, like for Darby, honestly, I think going hard on LinkedIn might be a good option for you too. I don't know if you've thought about that.
Yeah, I put as a win in the mastermind call section in Slack that I'm getting more traction on LinkedIn. So I'm definitely going to be focusing on that now. Yeah.
There you go. So I have some stuff from my coaching group that I'll like semi repurpose, because I don't know, I can't say I know LinkedIn very well, but I'll add some stuff for you guys. And I have the Instagram course almost done. And I want to let you guys know. So obviously I teach you guys have your high ticket offer and a lower ticket, or have, you know, right, a price range of offers, because you don't want to lose the mama who can afford something for 97. Have something for her that she can have that works for her, and then you have your 297 course or whatever, you know. So one of the things that we're launching for Mama Hustlin' Home is going to be, and I have not perfected it all, so y'all are hearing raw, is going to be like an 8-week I don't know what you want to call it, but an 8-week oh god, I had the word, I know what we're calling it and now I can't remember, but like an 8-week get together with me. What the freak word am I looking for?
Like a challenge or
Not a challenge. I have the word. Hold on. Let me find it. Let's see. Like a fudge. Why now it's gonna, I just have to find where I was chatting with my coach. Hold on. And I'll tell you, because we came up with like what I'm going to do. So basically what it's going to do, it's going to be helping people lay out their social media before they come in my coaching group, so that, because you know, a lot of our time is you guys are coming in brand new, not knowing how to do your social media. Can you imagine if we had done all that first, then you came into the coaching group ready to fly, you know, and like do the other things, learning how to do a funnel, your emails, you know, your masterclass, all of that. So, but you guys are all, anything I do that's, you know, lower priced of this, you guys are all welcome to attend. So what I'm going to do is break down a lot of it you guys are already going to know, but sometimes it's nice to have it, you know, re-cemented. I'm going to find it. Hold on. Let me find what it's called, because now it's bothering me. Why am I blanking so hard? I guess I'm tired. I don't know. Hold on one second. Let me see. A boot camp. That's the word. Super complicated. So like an 8-week, not just Instagram, like grow your social boot camp, like, you know, like get your socials in order or whatever. So that I can teach them the basics of the bio and all the thing. And all of that will be housed inside of Searchy once we're done with it. So you guys will have, and you can come live or whatever. But that, my whole point is like, the way that I'm really, even with a lot of you guys, is that I nurtured in, you know, DMs, and like, that's how I really built Labor Nurse Mama, was in my DMs. That's how, when I finally offered what I offered, they already knew I show up for them. I answer their questions. I care about them. So when I offered my class, it was like, oh yeah, of course I want to do her class, you know? But getting those right people is where I think we need to maybe think about some like low cost ads. And I'm trying to figure that out for Mama Hustlin' Home. And I've sent some to, you know, Cass to look over for me. Just very simple, goes to a freebie landing page, gets them into your email list. And then you have an automated like welcome email list, send them to other resources. And at the end of that welcome email, you know, what we say is like, tell me like, what is your greatest birth fear? Like, what are you most anxious about right now? So I can, you know, help you walk through that. And we get a lot of replies to that welcome email, a lot. Erica handles them more now than I do, but in the beginning I did. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I loved that. Like, I love, because it gives you great content. You get this reply of what, and you see a thread like, oh my God, like 6 of these 20 women told me their greatest fear is their doctor not listening to them. Guess what I'm going to create on Instagram? You know, so it gives you content and it gives you connection. And my whole point is you don't need a huge audience to start making sales, but you do need the right audience and you need a connected audience. And all of you guys have had some growth on your social, whether it's a tiny bit or big, but that gives Facebook an idea of who to send your content to. So that's kind of why, you know, and the other thing we can do is I can show you guys how to upload your email list to your ad manager so that Facebook, you can target those people exactly and a lookalike audience just like those people. Does that make sense? Because we can add CSVs to there and create your audiences. Now, again, that's not my expertise, but I know a little, just a little. Hasna.
Hi, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. So with regards to Facebook ads, I did a Facebook page in the very beginning, and for about 2 months, I was the only person who liked that page. So then I just deleted it.
No, no, we got to put that back up there. Put that back up there. You need a business. But Facebook can target your Instagram followers. We can also, so Facebook ads are pretty cool. And Darby knows a little bit about ads. She's done some ad stuff. And I do have some content that I can throw in there. It's not refined at all, but I'll put it on my list to put in Searchy. But what's really cool about Facebook is you can also target people who, let's say, for me, who like Pregnancy Magazine. People who follow other accounts that are similar to you. You can also, it's a little bit more difficult and I have a hard time with that, but you can do stuff like that as well. So you don't necessarily, like I said, my friend who's a sleep consultant, she didn't have an audience at all. She just had a good Facebook ads manager and she spent a lot of money. Go ahead, Asna.
Sorry, I didn't hear anything that you said. I don't want you to repeat it because I know everyone else is here. I'll just rewatch the recording. My son was screaming. Sorry, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't hear what you said, to be honest.
So I would have a Facebook page. You need to have a Facebook page and it needs to be connected to your Instagram. And you can set it where what you're posting to Instagram also goes to your Facebook page. So it's no bother, it's no extra work. Now, when you're posting reels, Stacy swears that you need to hand post and pick different music on Facebook. And we did, I mean, just by reposting to Facebook, we grew 83,000 followers last year that I didn't even know about until I was hiring someone from the Philippines. And one of my questions is, how many followers do I have on Facebook? And she wrote, like at that time, like 78,000. And I was like, what? She is not looking at my page because I think I have 700. And I went and I was like, holy moly. All we did was start moving my reels over there. I don't even respond to people, which is bad on Facebook. I don't reply to comments and I get hate for that, but I don't have time. But your Facebook business page, it's just connected. So then you have your business suite in your, your Meta business account. And when we target, it will target Facebook and Instagram. And you might see growth on, because there's a lot of people, not so much our niche, but Darby's in mine because they can be old. They don't use Instagram. Like people in the 30 or like 40 to 60 range do not use Instagram much. So like Darby can target them a little more, and I do have some pregnant mamas that are in their 40s as well. My dogs are going insane. Let me get Remy out of here. Hold on. Remy, out. All right, you little monster. Come here. But for you, Hasna, like, how we talked about boosting, you'll get so much more money, more return for your money if you do it the right way through Ads Manager.
Yeah, I don't know, Trish. Like I feel like ads just haven't worked for me. Maybe I've been doing them the wrong way. But Facebook, I just struggled to grow. I did have it linked, so my Insta reels were automatically going to Facebook.
Well,
but nothing happened. So I don't know if I have to like address Facebook alone, and then it's kind of like
your
like
it's not another job, not another work for you. Just connect it so that we can use its value when we do ads and targeting. Now, some people are very engaged on their Facebook business page and grow a great audience. It's really about doing research about your niche and finding out where people hang out. For those of us with the pregnancy and like younger mother space, they really hang out on Instagram. But I would definitely have that page, Hasna. And then I would also say that one of the things I did last year, and I think that also attributes to my growth, is I just had my Facebook page that said Labor Nurse Mama. I went in and actually put SEO in it, and that made a huge difference too. But the thing about it is you'll find out like it, and it's a slow grow if you're not engaging on there. If you were over there manually posting and doing things, it would probably grow. But I don't want you guys to have to worry about more than one social, like I did one at a time. It's overwhelming if you try to add too much, But the thing about it, Hasna, is you could target the people who will use your services that you can relate to, like moms in Saudi. You can specifically target moms in London. You know what I mean? That's what I like about Facebook too. I was in some Facebook ads used to be a lot better, but you can target specific areas. So for like Betsy, she can literally target people within 25 miles of her. Like, hey mama, are you gonna have a baby and you're super nervous about bringing it home? I can help. And she's targeting moms who she can actually expand to and go do her postpartum services because she can target. And the thing about having a very low target, like let's say we're targeting your 300 followers and a lookalike group, your cost of acquisition is going to be way lower. So like, let me just give you an example. When we do a freebie an ad to a free thing, whether it's a class or a free lead magnet, it usually costs me about 60 cents an acquisition. And we have it set up now. I don't know how to do all this, so just so y'all know, but we have it set up where we can find out when they join my class how much it costs me altogether. So per 60 cents, I make about $7. So if you could, like I was saying this to Casey, if you could put $1 into a slot machine and get 7 back, or put 100 into a slot machine and get 700 back, you sure as hell would do it. You know what I mean? So it's really about finding. Now, if you sent an ad to your course, that would cost you about 28 per person. It's expensive. So that's why you don't want to. Now we do retargeting after Fearless Birth, and we send it to the people who have attended the classes and remind them carts open, carts closing. But that costs us, like, for each one who joins, it costs us about $35, so we don't spend as much money on that because it's not as much of an income. But if I can get them into my funnel and I can nurture them and then say they join 6 weeks from now, it's worth it to me. But that's all about me showing up, me actually remembering to write an email every week, which I suck at, So anybody have any questions about that? And then I want to answer your questions.
You said you have someone that can help with the Facebook ads, because I think we talked about it. My Facebook and kicked me out and won't let me do anything.
Oh yeah, for your ads, right? Let me see what Mackenzie can definitely help you with all of that. So my ad manager,
I
I
can pay
used to have,
for Instagram, but I can't pay for Facebook. It just tells me no.
let me look up. I know that there were some people in the coaching group I'm in that had the same thing happening.
Okay.
Let me search that and I'll screenshot what the answers were from the ad manager in our group so you can kind of see her thoughts. But and Facebook and Instagram has the worst customer service in the universe.
Yes.
You just can't get responses from them. Let me see what Mackenzie might charge you like a flat fee to go in and fix everything and get your pixels set up and all of that. I don't think any of you guys need to be paying an ad manager per se. I could set up my ads when I started, and I knew how, I know basically how to do it. And I feel like that's valuable for you guys before your business blows up, to know how. That way, if you do hire an ad manager, if they're doing a crappy job or not, because you kind of know how it runs, but I would definitely if you're spending any money to boost ads, let's move it over to, boost posts. Let's stop that and let's move it over to somewhere that will actually help you, and get the right people targeted. Okay, let me get to your questions, because Casey, I'm going to send you times that we can hop back on, because I have a coaching call at 10 that I completely forgot about. Okay, so let's go here. All right, Becca, I want to ask you, tell me how it went. Tell me why you're feeling discouraged. I saw that pop up in the chat.
Oh, I don't know. You just gave me a lot of ideas. I already have another masterclass set for Sunday, and then another one for the Wednesday after Thanksgiving. And then ideally, I was doing the beta class that we talked about and that you just mentioned. And they were going to receive the first module December 1st, but not if I don't have anybody. Which I guess I can just create it, get a head start on it.
How do you feel about doing a low cost ad to the masterclass and just seeing?
I don't know.
I can probably help you set up something, and you could do it for when is your next one?
Sunday.
It's too soon for that, but what if you planned another one 2 weeks from now?
Well, my last one is November 29th.
Okay, so why don't we do $5 for 5 days and just see, what that does.
Yeah, maybe. I also need to get my emails in order.
Yeah. Let me brainstorm about that and see. But the thing about the masterclass I want you guys to know is that, right, and I told you guys this before, but I know it goes in one ear and out the other when you get excited about it, is that what you're doing right now is learning what to do and how to do it, how to show up, when to inflict your voice, when to get them excited, how to get them engaged, how to keep them on to the end.
I think it was really good with the engagement. Betsy was there and Emily was there. And I like the engagement was definitely there. And I don't want to say I was surprised, but it was like, they were cracking me up. Like it was, I really did love like like, I guess the audience and stuff. Really good questions, really good commentary. I had some coworkers and good friends of mine hop on just to like be active in the chat, and they didn't even have to be like, so that part was really good.
How
But
many people did you show up?
I think it was 24 in total, but I
That,
had like,
that's about what I get for the VBAC lab when I do
Yeah.
a VBAC master class.
well, and like you said, I think I had like just over 100 that like signed up to be a part of it, but only like 38 registered. And then out of the 38 that registered, 24 showed up. But I made the
Okay,
registration process too hard.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to send, do you have their, so this is another thing I've started doing on Mama Hustle and Home is I'm adding a spot when they register. I haven't done my masterclass yet, but when I do, I'm going to have a spot for their Instagram handle. And I'm going to personally, because I'm imagining I won't have like 2,000 like I do with Labor Nurse Mama sign up. I'm going to send them like an actual real DM when they sign up and be like, hey, I just saw you signed up. I'm so excited to get to know you and hear about your business. And I'm going to start that DM chat that I've given to you guys. Because if I'm doing that and I'm talking to them and I'm sending them a voice memo, by the time my class comes, we've been chatting and it's like, oh my God, I'm going to go to my friend Trish. I'm going to go to her masterclass. I don't want to hurt her feelings and not show up. You know what I mean? That's how I built Labor Nurse Mama, is that I grew relationships with them. So it wasn't just some random chick's masterclass that they saw on Facebook. This is that girl Trish who's been talking to me, who knows what my baby shower was like, and knew, you know, like I would ask them questions that I would ask people I meet. You know, and that's the good thing about me being a birth nerd and obsessed with birth. I really do care. I really do get excited if they don't know what they're having, or, you know, those things. And I really do cry with them if they have trauma.
Yeah, I messaged a lot of people and I had some really good conversations, but I think out of the people I messaged, there were only a handful that actually showed up. And then a
So what are
couple,
you doing with the replay?
it went out, but I screwed up with the registration process. So people thought that it was just in the email, but so I finally figured out to do a Demio. So they have to register with Demio too in order to get the link from Demio. Like I can't just send an,
So we can upload that CSV to Demio to get them registered. You want me to help you do that?
maybe.
Okay, we can do that. I learned that the hard way too.
So
This is, you know, it's a learning curve right now. Like, and that Laura and I had a conversation on her coaching call. Like, I want the magnetic energy you put out, you receive in. And so if you're desperate to make money, that doesn't go well for you. What you need to be desperate for is impact, helping. Like, you know, for Casey, like she really wants to help people have a healthy sex life, right? And for Laura, she really wants to help these moms deal with their trauma and have a positive parenting experience. But if her thought is, I really want to pay my bills, and I really like, when you get into that desperation mindset, it's very hard to grow. And I can 100% say that when I started Labor Nurse Mama, I knew, I mean, one of my goals was to retire my ex-husband, but I knew that my business would grow. I knew it, but I had no expectations on when. I just knew that it would because I was passionate. But more importantly, I really was pissed off at people being coerced and bullied and having a terrible birth because of us. And so that's what led my passion. And that's what led my connection and my relationship with these women. It wasn't about making money from them. Not that I don't want that for you guys. And there's nothing wrong with wanting that at all. I want that for you guys. But like for Darby, her passion needs that she really has something that will make a business owner's life easier. And she so knows it and so believes it that when she shows up, they feel that like, oh my God, she really wants to make, she really knows what she's talking about. She really wants to make, so that when you transition into the sale, it's just obvious, you know? And like for Becca, for you, like you really are sick of people thinking they have to be in pain if they're pregnant, like it's normal, you know? So that needs to drive that, and everything else will follow with that. But right now, your main focus when you're doing your master classes cannot be sales. It has to be learning my business, learning my audience, learning how to show up. Does that make sense to you guys? Hopefully.
I felt super awkward talking about the sales side of it. I'm just gonna throw it out there too. And I don't know if anyone else gets awkward about like that type of thing. So I feel like that maybe needs, I mean, I haven't looked back at the video. I'm like, feel
Have
like
you
I'm
watched,
traumatized to do it, but
you
I'm
come
going to go
here,
watch it. I will
did you
watch
come
it.
to Perth this week?
I just hopped on. I was so busy. I'm sorry. No, I just hopped
Okay.
on the Zoom the one time.
So I've done so many live classes, and um I've definitely, I told you guys when I started, I did Amy Porterfield's like $2,000-$3,000 create a course, whatever. And her sales techniques do not work on mamas. Now they would work for Darby. They work for someone who's getting a return on their investment. It's a different mindset. But I do have a pattern that I can show you guys of how to transition into this thing, but you have to make them want what you got through the belief shifting throughout it. So by the time you, like, I have people in the chat saying, well, where can I find that? Because I'll drop hints Monday and Wednesday, or Monday I don't sell, right? Tuesday I don't sell. Wednesday is when I open it up. Laura, I will answer your question via Zoom and send it, or Loom, and get it to you. If I don't get to all of your questions, I will answer them all. But by the time, so I'll be like, you know, my students love blah, blah, blah. And I say that throughout. So then I end the class and I don't sell them anything. And they're like, well, how can we join your class? Like they're asking me. So when I do open the cart, now you don't have to do that over a series like I do. It's really a pain in the ass to do a 5-day series, to be honest. But I do that throughout the masterclass. So then at the end, I say something like, are you guys so pumped up? Do you feel so excited now? Because at the beginning I say, okay, tell me what your biggest birth fear is. What are you like for the pain of labor? Like, what scares you most about your labor? And they'll drop all these things. At the end, before I go into the sales, I say, okay, are you guys like, did I get you excited? Like, do you still feel the same way about pain of labor? Like, tell me in the chat room, yes or no. Give me an emoji that tells me blah, blah, blah. And they flood it with like, oh my God, I feel so different. I'm so excited now. Like, I was so anxious when I got here and blah, blah, blah. Then the next thing I say is like, all right, remember, if you don't know your options, you don't have any. And then the next thing I say is, okay, here's your you've got two choices right now. Choice one, you can keep scouring the internet, reading random crap that people with no expertise have put up. You can try to find all the things. You can take free classes like this. Choice number two, I can come alongside you. You can grab my hand, and I'm going to give you the education, the empowerment, the support, the community that you need to have your best birth. And then the next slide says, okay, go with the choice that gives you the best chance to have an empowered birth. And then I go into my sales. So I bring them into agreement with me, you know, and we usually have about a 10 to 20% conversion, which is good. If I had 100 people, that would only be 10 sales, right? So we want to get you to that before you send your Evergreen Masterclass off to your Masterclass off to Evergreen. So we're not going to turn it Evergreen until you've nailed it. And then conversions for Evergreen are much lower. But once you get students coming in, you can put more ad money to that Evergreen and build it and build it and build it, you know? So, all right, I'm going to get to some questions. So I feel like I answered your questions, Becca, right? And for those of you guys who went to Becca's masterclass, I'm going to see if I can find a form that one of my coaches gave me that she uses for her team after her masterclass. And it's like, what kind of energy did you see? How did I deliver this? Like, and I want you guys to be very honest. Like, this is what I saw. If you know, like, because it doesn't help us if we're kind. I mean, I want you to be kind, but it doesn't help us if we're scared to tell each other the truth. Like, my team knows when I'm done with each class every night of Fearless Birth, I go into Slack and I'm like, all right, how was it? What did you guys think? And they're pretty open with me, you know? All right. Any other name suggestion for my birth planning sessions? The few moms have booked it are loving the sessions, but I'm getting some pushback on birth planning. I'm reading all this. Let me think about that. And have you asked Cass? Tag her in announcements and ask her thought too. Or tag the whole channel. Is she still on here? She leave us? I think she's gone. All right, Emily is gone. But Emily, tag us. I'm gonna remember to write that. And she had follower goals to meet. She woke up, her goal being met a day early. That's awesome. Laura said she slowly continued to grow followers, but she doesn't have any questions. Okay. Darby landed the client. So awesome. How did your onboarding go?
Great. So that was like last Monday we had our onboarding call, and then we got all of our documents signed and everything yesterday. So yeah.
Nice. And the LinkedIn thing, it's funny that that was on your thing because I literally was doing my profile this morning and thinking about you. And Susan's question is the link is invalid. I don't know why. Okay, anybody, so you guys didn't have a lot of questions, but hopefully this was beneficial to you guys. Oh, Casey.
I have a quick question after you said what you shared today. So I'm thinking about my course, and I had shared with you that I have like the draft of it done, beta round done. I had 8 participants buy and get into the course, which was a little bit over my goal, so I was happy. But now where I'm at with it is that nobody's really done the course. So now my intention was, when I heard you talk about how you developed your course, was, you know, you wanted to develop those modules with feedback from the people you're making it for. So my thoughts now are, and I guess my question is, I've been considering, I have one colleague that's going to review formally for me. I'm having her look through it, but she's not a mom. I have 2 other colleagues who are interested in reviewing it, but they're not postpartum moms.
Yeah, no,
So
I would not have them review it.
which is fine, you know, but I need
Yeah.
somebody's eyes on it that is not me, that's a postpartum mama. So for me to feel comfortable selling it again, right? Or I guess that's my question. Do I find somebody now while I'm making changes to it that's a postpartum mom to review for me? Or do I just go through my next launch and hope those moms give feedback and tweak it then? What would your thoughts be?
I would do a beta launch and I would offer it to them at a significant discount. What is your main price going to be?
So the first beta launch was $149, and I hope the real cost to be like $297, $299.
Okay, so why don't you do a boot camp, like a beta boot camp, and take those 8 moms, they're already in. I'd have them be a part of it to get them engaged, and maybe put a call out for 10 or 15 more that want to do this boot camp with you, and meet with them weekly on Zoom where they can ask you all their sex questions in a safe environment, you know, and give you feedback on each module. That gives you, you know, you don't have as much pressure to have it all perfected. We think it needs to be perfect. It doesn't. You have to remember, they don't know anything you know. So everything you give them is brand new and beneficial.
Okay.
They don't care if it's all pretty packaged. They just want to know how to fix their sex life.
Right.
how to enjoy it, how to be attracted to their partner again, whatever it is, So I would do that. And the good thing about the coaching is you're face to face with them every week, and they're talking about what is going on and what they're really dealing with. And like for me, for the VBAC lab, you guys, when I started it, I thought that their fear was a uterine rupture. I thought that was their greatest fear. By meeting with them, I realized that was not their greatest fear. What they were afraid of was putting in all the work and having another C-section. That was their fear. I would have never known that if I hadn't hung out with them every week and listened to them. And my best selling point came from Krista, one of my students who did end up having a cesarean, a second C-section. And her thing was, and I was able to hit that pain point during my classes because of her, during my master classes. I found out they're not, so at the beginning of my master class, I'll be like, you guys, like, let me tell you guys, I have spent the last 8 weeks when I really launched, I've spent the last 8 weeks with 15 moms who want to have a VBAC so bad they can taste it. And when I started, I thought their biggest fear was uterine rupture. But what I know now is their biggest fear was putting in all this effort, learning how to have a vaginal delivery, getting their hopes up, and going back to the OR again. And then I would be like, do you guys feel that way? Is that how you feel? And they're like, oh my God, that's exactly how, flooding. Oh my God, that's exactly how I feel. I'm so scared of getting my hopes up. And what if I end up? And I immediately say, here's what I want to say to you. I am going to teach you everything I know to have the most beautiful, empowered vaginal delivery possible. But there are legit reasons why a C-section is 100% the best option for you. And if you go back to the OR this time, you're going to know it's not because your doctor wants to go to his son's soccer team or your nurse is sick of coming in your room. You're going to go back because it's the best thing for you and your baby. And you can't argue that. And they was like, oh my God, that's exactly, because I knew what their problem was. When I started before the beta group, I had no idea. I would have totally been like, uterine rupture percent is really actually less than 1%. And they wouldn't have cared about that. That's not what they're scared of. They're scared of getting their hopes up and ending up back in the OR. And so I was able to deal with the trauma, the feelings, because I had spent 8 weeks learning what these women were feeling. So that's what is the beautiful thing about a beta launch, is that you may go into it thinking this is the direction I'm going. At the end, you're going to go in the right direction that's going to sell, because ultimately you want to meet their needs.
Yeah, Trish, even with this round, this was my beta launch that I did, that I sold to the 8 people, and I had about 10 other moms that I had that I spent one-on-one time talking and getting information from. But are you saying to just like beta launch again, like do it again to get more people in? And you're saying offer like a call rather than the course? And on those calls, do I teach content from the course?
You're going to send them. So how many modules do you have?
4.
So I would do your beta launch for 8 weeks. You'll send them module 1 right when the launch starts. Like, let's say you launch all of November and your beta launch, or all of November, December, and your beta launch starts the first week of January. The second week of December, I would send them module 1. They have 2 weeks to review it. And then you meet and you guys talk about that module. What did you learn? What was your greatest takeaway? Is there anything that was hard for you to understand? Is there anything in that module you're struggling on? What questions do you have? And you show up with like some bonus teaching. You know what I mean? Like like where you give them really nitty gritty practical tips. And they tell you what they felt and what questions they have. When they tell you your questions and stuff, you don't have to go back and refilm, but you might add a worksheet or a workbook that answers all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's my concern though, because that's what I did. That's what my beta launch was. And they're just telling me that, because I checked in with a few of them to say, hey, what's going on? Like, I saw you haven't started the course and they're like, oh, well, I'm really busy, which of course, like as a mom,
So
I
what if they signed up for beta and knew they were going to meet with you every Thursday night? You think they're going to not do the course? They're more likely to do it.
okay.
You know,
And,
I would be real with them and I'd reach out to them and be like, listen, you guys are my beta testers. You're not doing the course. So I'm going to launch a new beta. I'm going to open up some more spaces. And here's what I'm going to do to keep you guys on track. And if you come to all of the, if you participate, everyone who participates with like, let's say 90%, they're going to get a special bonus gift at the end that is going to be super amazing.
yeah.
And you come up with like maybe like 20 hot sex tips. I don't know, something. You know what I mean? Whatever it is that you would do.
Yeah.
And and you encourage them to come. I think that's a great way to pivot into it.
Okay.
And tell those 8 that you have some really exciting things, but and they don't know you're talking to the other person. So you tell the one like, girl, you want to change your sex life. Like you want to have, like I want that for you too. And you're not getting in the course. So here's what I've decided to do. I'm going to open blank more spots. You're included. You've already purchased, and we're going to do this. And every week I'm going to, I want you to watch module and we're going to break it down.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
And
And that second beta launch can be paid, right? It could be that same pricing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It will be paid.
Got
Now, one thing you could do that you guys could always do is if anyone in the coaching group is interested in being your beta launch, you could either trade out, like I'll be in your beta launch, you be in mine, and you guys come to support and, you give feedback. Like, I mean, Becca's teaching pain and pregnancy. I've got 3 pregnant mamas on here. We've got Hasna, Emily, and Casey. Anyone else pregnant? That better not be Darby. Not that I wouldn't be excited because
well, that would be
but-
amazing. I would love to once I have it together, I'll offer it to our group too, just to join, and any feedback would be amazing.
feedback. Yeah. And then they can write reviews for you, which go on your landing page. Like that's one thing. Like I've been putting like some of y'all's wins on my stuff, but like technically, like I haven't finished coaching anyone. So I don't have I only have my own growth. I know what I did for my own business, but the thing, like one thing is that, and I want to put out there is like, I can give you guys all the information, but there's all these other things that factor in, like your dedication, like, are you implementing, like the different things. So when you're talking to yours, like Casey, you could say, like, I'm going to show you guys what to do, but it's up to you guys to implement this in your relationship, right? Susan's postpartum mom, she can come to your sexy talk. So
yeah.
And so one thing you could do is if you get it all together, I could even offer it to my students for the beta launch. Just, let me
Okay,
know.
great. Yeah, that should be quick because I'm not changing anything for that. I can offer it as is, and I have all my language already done from the first beta launch. So I'll make that a priority. While
if you guys
editing for the next.
Yeah, if you guys create affiliate options for whatever you're offering and it aligns with my audience, I don't sell a lot on Instagram because obviously I want to sell my own. But to my students, I mean, I have 3,000 or 4,000 past students, and a lot of them are getting pregnant again. A lot of them are. So if you guys create affiliates, I'll promote it to them inside the student community. You for sure, Becca, because they all know you. So let me know that, and we can do that as well. And you guys, I'll always, like, you guys, we can do a live, we can do a podcast. I will do whatever I can to help you guys promote as well. Once Susan has her little puppy course made, I will buy it and take it.
Your puppy might be a grown up by then.
This thing, she's ruling my life.
Yeah. So is mine.
It's where she wants to be all day, every day.
I don't even know where mine is. That's not a good thing.
Yeah, you should see Casey's puppy. It's
He,
like
he
bigger.
needs training too. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Um,
I'm not doing a good job with my own, so.
Anyway, anybody have any questions? Because I have a coaching call with my coaching group that I belong to in 5 minutes.
No, I just want to say if anyone does need someone to like talk on a live or something, I have no problems doing it. So you can just hit me up and I'll join you. I'm doing one with Emily in December. So
Oh, nice. And
I don't
just
always have
interesting,
great answers, but like I will
what are you
participate.
guys doing? What is your topic? Do you know?
No. She told me she'd tell me a few days before, and I said, okay. I think it has to do with all the scary stuff that I went through. So I
Or
want to figure
trauma?
out how to say it without scaring people into never having children, but we'll figure that out.
So the way that you do that is you have like this is something that happens in my community a lot. That this is why I separated the postpartum moms from the pregnancy moms, because no matter what you do, but what I would say is how do you think it would have went if you didn't have the education or support that we gave you?
Right. It would have been a lot more terribly.
Yeah. Because I know for a fact that Taylor and I came alongside you and like we cried for you. Like I stayed up hours for you. I lost a lot of sleep for you. She
Yeah.
had the most hellacious, like nobody else in the world could repeat it experience, honestly. She'll have to share with you guys sometime. It was a nightmare. And it was more than unusual. Like that's not going to repeat itself for you or anyone else, you know?
Well, I'm not having any more babies, so we'll never know.
But you know what I'm saying? It's not a repeatable event. It was a fluke.
Yes.
Bad doctor. I think some mistakes your doctors made.
Yes. Well, we already talked to lawyers and they're not pursuing it, which is fine. But
The lawyers are assholes.
I know I'm married to one.
You can't, sorry.
No, he's not that type of lawyer, so it's fine.
No, I've learned a lot with this whole situation my family's in, that it's literal BS. Like come hell or high water to get help.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get people to prosecute, even when it's like a real situation.
Yeah.
Anybody else have a question before we hop off? Do you guys feel like this was beneficial? Like Betsy wants to hear. Yeah. Do you have your story even written in my community?
I wrote, I think, the first part of it, and then I went back to the hospital, and I don't know if I ever wrote that part out. It is all in my Instagram stories, but it's probably like a 3-hour thing.
It's insane, Betsy. Insane. Like one thing after another. Like literally when she would come on and like I would be like, could anything else happen to this poor girl? Like
Eventually
seriously?
it stopped.
Yeah, we should have just put bubble wrap around you and like made you like a big giant bubble wrapped mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm good now, so it's fine.
Darby, plug your ears. Don't get scared.
Trying.
One
No.
in a million, literally. That's me.
Yeah. All right, ladies. I will see you guys later.
Right,
This thing
bye.
better have recorded. We've had so many Zoom problems. I'll be so mad. Okay, bye.
Bye.